What's up, guys? Mike here with CRZYSTUFF, and today we're just doing a kind of an unboxing video, but I've already taken it out of the box. So right here we got a couple cool little art products, art supplies, however you want to say it, from a company called Graster, who were cool enough to send this stuff over. Super cool stuff. Basically they're like ink pens, like you, man, I forget that brand. Stay tuned. Inks. Okay, those were like the original, I believe those were the original brand that kind of came up with this idea and this theory. So going over the contents of the package, got a couple cool little stickers. I like this one a lot. That one's going in the black book for sure. That's a cool little character for sure. Interesting stuff. I like the depth he achieved with the different tones. Pretty cool little character. I like the shoes. Then a couple name tags, most likely to just, you know, slap them up there. Super cool. This looks like a finer style tip. Okay, pretty cool. I really like this packaging, man. That's super cool. And this is a company based out in China, so I mean that's just super cool design right there. I like that. Maybe I'll translate this and get it read. I'm gonna peep that. Okay, so my very poor free image translator said Sour Graffiti Store EF8 something something Wyland. So probably maybe some Chinese slang in there, but cool little tip. So let's go ahead and open the main meat of the package. We'll start with this bad boy. Gang gang. Got the trusty X-Acto knife with 3D printed cover. CRZYSTUFF.com. Available for purchase, gang gang. And then we will jounce that joint off. Let's see. This tape is like pretty cool. Part of me wants to like save it. Now let's see. Okay, I don't even need to. Didn't even need the knife. Okay. Here we go. So here are the Graster Wilder 8mm. Now, it actually feels pretty solid in your hand. Nice little touch on the cap there. Easy, fast, clean. I gotta say, I don't know why, but Chinese writing just looks so cool to me. Like, I like having it on my stuff. Especially art supplies. Trying to do all this with one hand, gang gang. Okay, so yeah, that one was probably an interchangeable tip, which is super cool. So I can pop this tip out and throw this one in. Kind of curious why there was only one when I got 3 of them. So give it a good shake, like a bike on a chair. 3D printed Xbox controller stands, CRZYSTUFF.com. Okay, now we're starting to get sauced. Oof. I dig it. I dig it. What do you think, bro? What do you think, bro? Oh, word? Oh, I bet. I like it too. Let's peep with this other tip. See if we can sauce up any of this gang. Gotta janks out the Johns and janks the Jinkser. The Jankser. I wonder, does it like screw in or just... So, okay, I gotta prop this up. So, the tip, kinda, you can just pop it out and then switch. I swapped this one from the square side to this more like square tip, pointy buoy. So, pretty cool. Still trying to figure out, I don't want to like break it and have ink fly everywhere, but I'm not seeing a very clear and precise way to swap this tip in. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so got a little concert going down at the Leonardtown Wharf, and it's a beautiful Saturday. Actually my birthday today. But I figured I would use some of the products that Graster sent over to kind of do a little something on this watercolor paper. We got the Graster purple. I was hoping the metallic gold from Graster would be in, but it's not. So I got the 10mm Graster purple ink, the 8mm black ink. I got a CraftSmart white paint pen, a CraftSmart gold paint pen, and a Sharpie, a gold Sharpie. So, and a mechanical pencil just to sort of get an idea on. I'll also have my electric eraser. I'll show that here in a little bit. If you're curious about that, check out my Ink Master video. I kind of go more in depth into that. At first I thought it was kind of a gimmick, but it's a really cool and actually very useful product. Does a lot less damage to the paper than the friction and heat created by rubbing really hard. So a really cool product. As always, they'll be linked for Amazon if you want the cheapest possible option, and they will be linked on my website if you want to support the channel. As of right now, I'm not 100% sure if Graster's available on Amazon. I might be the only supplier in the US right now. Still kind of working out the details with the guys at Graster, so we'll see what happens. Got my GoPro set up, got my agua, so time to start sketching.
turn up the bass.
Yeah, so it's a couple hours later and the concert is over. You can see they're packing everything up. So now I am in the gang with the sauce and I'm god dogging the jaunts. Paint's dry, so we're gonna be grabbing the Graster black ink and lining everything. And then we're gonna be putting in the gold shadows and the white highlights. So let's get to work. So we are in the Crazy World Design Studio, and it's a late night, so I needed some light. So we're going over to the analog side where I paint, you know, and I have all of my, you know, art supplies and my markers and my pens. And we are going to start laying down the outline on the Graster art piece. We're going to be using the Graster 8mm to line out everything and start building our graffiti piece in a better way. Once this is done, we're going to be doing some throw up tags and some places with this guy. I have a couple of places that'll let me come tag places because they like you boys' art, and they're super cool. I'm also probably going to be using this on one of my beater motorcycles, my little beater stunt bike I use to, like, you know, mess around and stuff. Don't care if I crash it. So got more than just this for the video, so stay tuned. Right now we're gonna get started on this bad boy, lining it out. Gangity gang 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 gang. Okay guys, so change of plans. We're gonna use a Sharpie to line out everything. Just because this tip isn't conducive to lining, it's a little too broad, and I did this too small for that to really line it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bust open a pack of gang doggers. Actually, psych, I'm gonna use this one. Ha! Change of plans 3 times. Gang. Like I said, I'm extremely new to graffiti, so certainly not very good yet. I really can't believe I forgot the L. I usually don't make mistakes like that, but hey, you know, trying to fit it on the page, you just forgot, I guess. Crazy, but I did it. Now, my gold paint pen is looking way too watery. So we're gonna go ahead with the gold Sharpie and see how that looks like. Okay, yeah, gold Sharpie for the win. So, time to start saucing up these Johnnies. And I'm gonna have to clean up these lines again. Most likely you just outline them with the Sharpie again, because this, the Sharpie doesn't have a very fine tip. So gonna have to come through here. It's looking pretty good though so far. I'm you know, for like the 4th or 5th time or something like that I've ever really tried to do graffiti style text. I'm pretty pleased with how this came out, you know. I'm digging it. When I was growing up, I always drew like underwater scenes, and after that it was basically just like skulls all the time, like skulls and like tattoo style art, stuff like that, American traditional style. I really like the bold illustrative style type art. Definitely been getting into some surrealism art lately. Super cool stuff. So people are doing some really amazing and incredible things with that. I haven't. I've really just been trying to get technique down for like drawing faces, and that's been lately because for whatever reason I just never drew people, and I really don't know why it is, but like, you know, one day I was just like, you know what? I never draw people. Like, why is that? And it's funny because I met my wife, and I love doing, you know, artwork for gifts for people, just because it's like truly personal and you put your time into it. Like, anybody can just go buy something, you know, but creating something for someone you love is really, you know, a labor of love, you know. And I started drawing people because I wanted to draw a portrait of her, and I wanted to do her justice, you know. I didn't think I was like good enough at drawing people to draw her. And I wanted to do a good job, you know. I wanted to draw her and really try my best to capture her beauty. So I started practicing drawing people, and I got Andrew Loomis's book set. I actually have it right here to the left on my desk. If you watched the Ink Master Challenge video, you'll see that. That's super helpful. I mean, really goes into like the proportions of the face, and you know how to do that. And, I mean, even in art and just like really simple illustrative style faces, like really, like take Japanese style for example, it's really only a couple lines for the eyes and the mouth and the nose. But even in that, even that simple, like when the proportions are off, it's even to somebody with an untrained eye when it comes to art, you can tell immediately when it's off and the proportions aren't right, which is like, you know, it's very built into us as humans that we like have this innate, like, you know, sort of eye for human faces and what looks right. And just like we all kind of have a somewhat standardized perception of beauty, right? Like everybody, when someone's like really beautiful, like you can tell that they're beautiful. Especially with women, with female faces. It's much more obvious in my opinion. So I think everybody can tell when it's off. And so when I wanted to draw my wife a portrait, I wanted to be able to capture her beauty. So I started practicing that. And it's funny because even just the starting to attempt and practice that, as I progressed, it just seemed to level up all of my art as a whole. And if you're kind of hitting a plateau with your artwork, you know, challenging yourself in a new sort of style or a new subject matter will kind of overall make all of your work better. And you'll really find yourself leveling up. And it's super cool. And I dig it. And I see as I go over this, it's getting bolder and saturating better. So I'm gonna wait for that to dry and then go over it again, but digging it so far. Oh, I didn't even realize this was like this. Beautiful. Yo, this has such a fine tip. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay, baby. Alright, so when I do highlights, I like to pick a direction of the light source and mark all of them on that. So we'll kind of do like... It seems to be mixing with the Graster ink. Okay, I might have to let this dry more. And okay, what's up guys? So I'm back the next day and I have completely let everything dry. So now that that's happened, we're going to be continuing adding our highlights with the CraftSmart white paint pen with the fine tip. This is another product I'm going to be adding to the Crazy World website, and if you are interested in grabbing it, you can certainly do that from the website if you don't mind paying a couple extra bucks and supporting the channel. If you just want the cheapest possible option to get it, I'll also put an Amazon link in it. So get to inking. I'm starting to think I might use a paintbrush for this too. Now after I put in these highlights, before I redo my outline to crisp it up, I think I'm going to try and put a shadow effect by applying more of the Graster purple to the opposite side of the highlights, which would be in shadow. I have it set up so my light source is coming in this direction just based off of where I'm putting the highlights. One of the most beautiful things about the internet these days is how much amazing information and how much amazing info there is on art and technique available just for free. I mean, back in the day, you would have to go to art school, to get this type of information, and that's one of the beautiful things about the internet. Just the amount of information is beautiful. I mean, there's also a ton of freaking garbage, but if you know how to use it and you use it right, man, it is a beautiful, beautiful tool that can certainly help you grow as an artist, you know what I mean, and as a person for whatever, you know, I mean, even all the psychological information. I mean, just the internet. I mean, we all know the internet's an amazing resource, but it can be used for some not so savory things as well, as I'm sure we all know. Oh, come on. Okay, that I'm gonna have to dab that in. No, I actually used to keep a jar of Q-tips on this desk for exactly this reason, but wifey stole them for wifey things that I don't even know about. Alrighty, so let's man, I really liked how I had that. That's annoying, but part of the process. Make a mistake, gotta fix it. Such is true with life. I think the world would be a better place if people owned up to their mistakes and did what they could to fix it instead of trying to sweep it under the rug. You know, too many grown-ass adults these days have no honor and try to act like a kid who got their hand stuck in the cookie jar and try to lie and hide it instead of being an adult and a good person and owning up to their mistake and doing what they can to make it right to the people that they hurt. You know, I think that's why a lot of people have a problem with cops these days, you know? Because whenever the cops do something wrong, they just don't tell you and do everything they can to try to hide it. But when you do something wrong, you know, you pay for it. They'll try to do whatever they can to make you pay for your mistakes, but they want to hide theirs, not pay up. Think if they were at least honest. And I mean, there's a lot of good cops out there. I mean, cops are people, right? So there's good, but it seems like a lot of the good ones end up being swayed and affected by the bad ones, which sucks, but such is true with many different professions in this life and just life in general. I think I'm gonna have to end up doing several coats of this white in order to really get it to look how I want. Because even as some of these ones that look like they're nice and saturated and the white is bright, end up kind of drying a lot darker than I want them to. Alright, so we have got our highlights in, and they're looking pretty cool. I mean, I really like the placement where I put them. I like some of the effects I achieved here. I certainly am going to do a little bit more detail in some of these things, like here, like that's just too square, so I'm probably gonna bring this up and just make the shape of it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and definitely need a little bit more tweaking, but I think we've got them in the spots that they need to be in. I think I'm actually gonna add some more along here. just because these sort of highlights tend to give a nice effect. As you know, on a two-dimensional surface, there's no true way to create three-dimensional art on a 2D surface. What you really do is trick the eye into making it appear three-dimensional by use of different values to create the shape and illusion of 3 dimensions. Pretty, art's a beautiful thing, man, and I love pretty much every aspect of it. And I believe that God has given me a certain amount of talent with art, and I would like to use that to spread more positive energy out there. There's so much negativity and so much just evil in the world today that, you know, if I can do anything to help bring some positivity to this world, I'm gonna try to do that, you know. You know, now let's see if we can go back over these shadows and come another coat, maybe get this looking better. Yeah, that's doing something. Think I need a new gold Sharpie. Might have to run out and grab one. That's darkening it up. It's almost looking more like a bronze now than a gold, though. Certainly a lot of these areas really need it. Need to be hit again for sure. For trills. On gang. On sauce. I mean, on gang, we bussin'. You guys should follow me on Snapchat. CRZYMOTO. Crazy. Spelled how I spell it. Moto, M-O-T-O. You guys are looking for, you know, kind of more like a day-to-day thing of, you know, some of the vibes. And, you know, on gang we bussin'. You know, post some content with the bikes on there. Be, you know, on some days where I'm not, you know, doing my art, I like to take time. I got a couple builds in the works. Moto wise, I got a 291 CBR 600s in my Ducati. The Ducati's kind of, I'm not like taking that apart and building it because it's such a beautiful bike from the factory. That's just getting some simple mods and stuff, and, you know, do an exhaust on that. I'll do, you know, probably a video of like the oil change, just typical maintenance, but, you know, just gonna bling it out a little bit. Some driven racing products, some Rizoma products. But the real meat and cheese on the motorcycle builds is the 91 CBR. All my old blog posts from when Crazy World was CRZYMOTO are still up there. And if you go to the number 6 blog post, you can see my first CBR 600 and how it looked when I got it versus what I built it into. You know, actually, I'll throw that up on the screen right now. So that's what it looked like when I got it. And this is what it looked like after I built it the first time. And when I started this project, I had zero knowledge of anything mechanical at all. That was the first time I worked on carbs, the first time I worked on a motor, the first time I ever did any of that. And I think it turned out pretty well. I mean, obviously there's people doing amazing things with bikes that, you know, I try not to compare myself to a lot of other people then, because there's so many people doing such amazing things. You can really make yourself feel like shit by comparing yourself to everybody else. You really got to compare yourself to yourself and make sure you're improving, you know. So once that was done, I liked the red and black, but I decided that I wanted to change it to black and gold, as well as getting more in depth. In addition to painting the frame, you know, I wanted to paint the motor and rebuild the motor, because I was always so into motors and rebuilding motors and learning how they work. So took that bike apart and went to go black and gold and built the motor. So this is what the motor looked like after I built it. You can see the black and gold. Recently got my wheels powder coated by my buddy Jake. He owns Fast Lane Powders. Does a phenomenal job on the powder coating. Like, truly meticulous when it comes to the prep work and the finish on his work. And he does an amazing job, man. And if you're in the Southern Maryland area and you need any powder coating work done at all, please hit him up. You will not be disappointed. I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description, and also his website. I think he has a website. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. But if he does, it'll be there. If not, his Instagram will be tagged. So yeah, like I said, I'll be following the build, and on days where I work on the build, I'll be creating content with that still, because I think building bikes is art. I think that's another art form. It's just functional art. It's sculpture with the metal work. It's paint with the painting. It's design and using design elements, and it's a lot of fun. And I really enjoy that for sure. So be on the lookout for that sort of content. I'll definitely be bringing that to the channel too. Because like I said, this channel, the goal of this channel is not just to make money. I mean, obviously I would like to turn it into something profitable for sure. I mean, who wouldn't? But the goal of this channel is to create things that I enjoy and post the content for other people to see and try to spread positive vibes. And my number one true goal with this channel is I'm hoping that eventually I can build this channel to the point where it makes enough money that I can buy land and build a big greenhouse and grow food all year round and give it away to people for free and have the place run on donations, which I think is something the government should be doing with our tax dollars. People only really need three things: transportation, housing, and food. So why hasn't the government created massive greenhouses in every city and give away food for free? Oh, because then their buddies that own Food Line and all that wouldn't make billions of dollars a year. As you can see, I'm kind of salty about people in power abusing their power and taking advantage and oppressing people. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Anyway, getting off track a little bit. So I'm gonna let the white dry. I'm gonna maybe go out and run to Michael's or I can't go to Hobby Lobby this Sunday, but run to Michael's and grab a contrasting color to do some sort of cool background. I would be using the Graster, but I'm still waiting on a pretty big shipment from them, and it's taking a while because their products, they are a graffiti shop based out in China. I got into contact with them because one of the guys that owns it liked a couple of my Instagram posts and messaged me and was like, hey, your work's super cool. And I was like, we just got to talking and it came up, and got the opportunity to do some work with their super cool products. So on gang, we bussin'. I'm gonna be doing a video where I go through every last one of my old sketchbooks and go over all of my art. Think it'll be some cool content. Let me know what you think in the comments if you'd like to see that. So I am back from Michael's and from Target. We'll go here more in the light. Gotta get some better lighting for the desk. But like I said, I was gonna need some green for a contrasting color for the a little extra sauce for the Graster piece. And decided we're gonna start a new series called Supply Sunday. I'm gonna be going over every Sunday, grabbing some new art supplies, and just kind of going through everything and trying to create some art with them and review, do some unboxing, and letting you guys know what I think. So for example, these Uni Posca paint pens have been all over the gram lately, and they seem super cool, and I was really excited to try them. While I was there, right next to them, I saw these Sharpie paint pens, and I decided, oh my gosh, these are chalk. Whatever, we finna try them. So these ended up being $3 a piece, and these were $2 a piece. So we're gonna compare and see what's really good. While I was at Michael's, you know, grabbed the CraftSmarts, and if you remember earlier, I was hype about the fine point on the white, so I grabbed this kit that has the 3 different tip styles. You know, just try out new things. Bussin'. Alright, so we're gonna save these ones for the comparison video. So right now, we're gonna be busting these open, and busting these open, and busting these open, and gonna try to play around with them and see which ones I want to sauce up. Because I'm sure some of these have different shades and tones. I'm sure the CraftSmart green isn't the same as the Posca green, so we're gonna take a look at these and grab these ones. We're gonna try to see what the golds do, because like I know in the beginning of the video I tried my my CraftSmart metallic gold and it wasn't doing what I really wanted it to do. So we're gonna see if the new ones make a big difference, because the metallic Sharpie I had just really isn't putting it down like I wanted it to. So got some new supplies for one of the aspects of life that I truly have always loved, which is artwork. And you know, I hope that whoever's watching this video, I don't get a ton of views yet, but I really appreciate you watching, and I pray that, you know, the people who are enjoying my content and viewing, I hope that you find something you truly love to do. And if you're here, I'm assuming that's art. And I hope that you get an opportunity to do projects that inspire you and bring you some joy in life, because, you know, I've said it a couple times through this video, there's just so much freaking negativity and darkness in this world these days that I pray that if you're watching this, I pray you get some light in your life, and I pray that you get an opportunity to do something you love, and I hope the good vibes reach you, and if you need them, you know, I hope that it helps you out with whatever you're going through, you know, whatever that may be. So thanks for watching, and you know, I hope you get that break, or I hope you meet that person, or I hope you know, whatever you're going through, I hope that it works itself out for the best for you. You know? No. Enough of my sentimental mic stuff. Time to get to work. On gang. We bussin'. Let me see if this. Okay, yeah, that's where it was. Yeah. Give y'all the views. Beautiful. Alright, so this is my white boy. And maybe I should go back to 0.6 so y'all can see on the sides. No, let's zoom into the wood. I'll probably sauce up the GoPro and get it ganging so that we can go all dog the John sack whenever we gang doodle the Johnson. On gang we bussin'. I mean, how many bussins do we gotta bust before it's bussin'? In case you didn't know, I'm ridiculous, but I have a really good heart. Alright, here we go. Oh my gosh. This just changed the game. Okay, CraftSmart Gold. Okay. So we are going to go as far as we can before we get to the fine details with this, and then we're going to use the regular tip. Oh my gosh, that's night and day from the Sharpie. Oh my goodness, this just made me super excited. The things I'm going to create with this gold is going to be amazing. Alright guys, so we are back working on the Graster piece. Cool stuff. I'm getting John sub. You can see I whited out my mess in the bottom. So now we're gonna clean up these green lines. We're gonna re-outline everything after we use the fine tip CraftSmart gold paint marker. And then we're gonna hit some of these places with the Graster purple. Okay, so I've got to let the white dry, and then I'm going to go in and clean up areas like this, where in between the black and the light. I might go off with the light, makes it easier to see. Some of this stuff's pretty reflective, which is a cool effect for what the Graster line of products is really intended to do. But here is like an issue where I have like my white overlaying my black line, and in between the white and the black line there should be some purple. So I'm gonna get my Graster ink on a very small thin brush, and I'm just gonna clean these areas up, clean up the white here, you know, clean up these areas here and here, and a couple of others. And then we're gonna go in with the black, then we're gonna go in with the gold and really put in those crisp details. We're gonna re-outline the whole thing, and that'll be all she wrote. Hey guys, so we're gonna run through kind of really what these products are intended to do, which is throwing up some hand styles very quickly and efficiently. Let's say you're cruising around town and there's an area that's already really heavily graffitied, and you want to do your thing. I'm not encouraging anything. I'm not saucing up any gang here. But let's say you're in a place where you've talked to the owners and they've given you permission to do it. Take a graffiti product by Graster, and and light pressure on the product will get more ink. So if you really want your if you really want your piece to have that drippy look, you can easily accomplish that simply by squeezing the bottom more and causing more ink to come out. I don't know if you can see that, but more's coming out. Get some more saturating in the felt tip. So that's the purple. Super cool product. Now we have our 8mm tip. You can go ahead and saturate that tip. You know. Super cool, super efficient. It's fun to play with, you know, experiment with your styles. Super fun, super fun. Then I got my, you know, my construction paper here just to give it a little color. We'll do like a more readable piece. And you know, the possibilities are endless. Super great, super efficient way to get, you know, to get up. Throw your stuff up. On gang, we bussin'. Make sure you have the owner's permission. Gang, gang. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video today. I appreciate your time. I also wanted to give a huge shout out to the guys at Graster for sending those products over and letting me do some artwork with them. They make a great product and they're great tools for getting up. So if you're interested in the products, be sure to check out the art supply section of CRZYSTUFF.com. If you're interested in the piece I did, it will be up for sale on CRZYWorld.com in the artwork section, and we have a ton of new merch on the way. Thanks for watching, and stay crazy.